Hey, it's Bernadette. Welcome, 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 and happy Monday. I have been super busy today. And some reoccurring themes, of course, are happening today and have through the weekend, which is why I wanted to come on here and give you guys a little bit of a heads up. Because there is a lot going on and so much more than meets the eye, so much more than just our mundane understanding allows us to get. So I'm going to give you guys a minute to get here. Hi, Janine. Say hi when you get here. If you're watching the replay, say replay in the comments so that I know you were here. I love coming back and seeing who's viewed it and who's here. The more I know, like the more people I know are here, the more I can kind of tune into what you guys need too. Hi, Carmen. Hi, Valkyrie. Yes, happy Monday. But for some people right now, it doesn't feel so happy. So let me just take a quick survey. How many of you have had a very rough, hi Amy, you did get alive, woohoo. How many of you have had the last 3 days, especially the last 3 days, the last 24 to 48 hours, have had a really rough time battling your ego and feeling like you want to just give up? Any of you feel like that? Put it in the comments. Or just feeling so overwhelmed that you're like, this has to stop. I can't take anymore. Because for some people it has lightened, for other people it has intensified, or it's come to a head. Like a bunch of things that they've been dealing with have come to a head, and it's brought about a need to get some help and to get some clarity. All of the people I've been speaking to the last 2 days have had a really like some rough shifting stuff happening. Okay, so you guys have. All right, thank you for admitting it. Last night and today. Yeah, lots of people. So Mars went into the sign of Virgo. And Mars rules our actions. It can tend to be very aggressive and assertive, right? But it's in Virgo. Virgo rules the practical, the sort of physical plane, right? And Mars naturally, its ruler is Aries, very fiery, very forward moving, where Mars is in the head. So unfortunately, a lot of what we want to get done right now out in the world and in our lives is getting very stuck in the mental frequency, the mental stream of consciousness. And it's not helpful for a lot of you. You're battling because if you are analytical or perfectionistic, or you've had an ongoing issue, it may very well have come to a head over this weekend and it's made you overthink, right? So instead of taking like physical action, you're actually stuck in thinking about what you want to do, what you need to do, and there's a back and forth. The other side of this, there is this ongoing energy for people who are light bringers of the world that are having a whole huge amount of battle with self-doubt, right? Self-doubt, self-sabotage, second-guessing yourselves, wanting to just throw in the towel and feeling so overwhelmed and unsupported and alone that you're like, what the hell? It's not even worth it anymore. I've talked to a few people there too that are just like, I can't make sense of it. I can't do anything. It doesn't feel good. And in order to get out of that feeling, then the mind goes to, I'm just going to freaking end it all. Oops, I just hit my microphone. So if that's you on any level right now, I want you to know you're not alone. Lisa's saying you helped me so much on Saturday in my session. Yeah, I am so glad I could be there for you, Lisa. And the people that I have talked to today too. And I mean, I came out of my doctor's appointment. It's been back to back. I just am now getting a break. So the people that I've had one-on-one sessions with, it has helped them break through it and look at things from a very different perspective. But there is some common threads going on, and I want you guys to be aware of it. There is an element of spiritual warfare going on deep levels right now. many of you guys relate to the word light worker, and you don't hear me use it that often. More, I talk about, you are the light bringers, you are the lighthouse, you are of the light. But I don't like using the word light worker for this reason. There's a subtle word in that light worker, and that is work, right? And a lot of us, a lot of you, believe that to be a light worker, you have to work at it, which implies that you're not already light and you aren't already perfected in the light. That's why I tell you guys, you are the light bringers. Bring your light. Don't work at creating it, work at finding it. It's already there. You don't need to do anything. The light is there. All you need to do is keep the ego out of it. That's your job, and that's it. Keep the ego out of it. Choose intentionally to stand in love and compassion and mercy, and your light expands and radiates outward. So you are bringing the light, right? You're not a light worker. You're not here to work at it. You're not here to save other people by your light. You are here to just bring yours. How that affects people is up to them on their path with their journey. We are the light bringers. We are bringing the light in the darkness. And let me tell you, if you are a light bringer, you are of the light, and your intention is to live in the light and to be, a guiding light to others, whether that's your family, your friends, your clients, or just the world, the dark part of the world, then you may very well be under spiritual attack at some level. I know I have been for the last couple of weeks, and I because I go through so much spiritual warfare, I don't normally pay attention to it too much with other people, like where I bring it collectively together. But I was on a session with one of my clients earlier today, and she was the third today. So everything for me, when I know it's for everybody else, it usually has to happen 3 times. Or if it's a message that I need to bring forward, they have to show it to me 3 times. And then I know, okay, I have to share this now. I'm kind of stubborn that way, but that's always my confirmation from spirit that yes, this is for them out there. So this is for you guys with the live stream. Spiritual warfare has been happening on major levels, right? And it's causing people to want to give up. So the darkness or negative energy, the fear, wants to be the prevalent energy and trying to suppress the positive, suppress the light, suppress the love. How does it do it? By causing us to self-doubt, by causing us to not feel like we are on our paths and living our purpose, right? Thanks, Arlene. It does have everything to do with the dark night of the soul, but I don't want you guys to think like that spiritual battles are a negative thing. There is a purpose behind it. There is a reason that we go through dark night of the soul, why we go through spiritual battles, right? There is, as much as there is light, there is darkness, and it's out of balance on this planet. If you look around, the darkness is stronger than the light. But in reality, the light, it doesn't take as much light to overcome darkness. It takes a whole lot of darkness, right, to make one little small light that radiates from a candle to not illuminate something. So it takes a whole lot more darkness to kill the illumination of the light. It takes a lot less light to kill the darkness. But if you are a light bringer and you've been getting attacked by fears, by ego, by frustration, by other people's egos, which is big time happening, by overwhelm, just by all of the changes and transformations that are trying to occur in your life, the first place it hits is within your own mind, within your ego. That a lot of times is that place where you have a weak link. Right? There's a chink in the armor right there. There's a hole, a place, anywhere that you've had any kind of disappointment or you haven't felt heard or seen, that creates a hole for that darkness to enter. And then it wants to grow so that you will give up and then you're no longer light. Extinguish your light. That is the point of that darkness, right? To blow out your candle, to blow out your light and to create more darkness. Don't let it happen. I'm telling all of you this for a reason. Yeah, it's tough because the emotional quality of everything is more intensified right now. The feeling that we have clarity is not there. It seems absent, but in reality, it's all there. It makes you doubt that everything is happening as a blessing and in perfect order, when in reality, it all is in perfect order. I just got done with a call with one of my clients that I work with a lot. She's in my Charm Life program, and she does one-on-ones with me. And she's also an intuitive and a coach. And she's struggled a lot with finding her voice and finding her audience and finding her purpose. And oh, Holly. Yep. So that's one of the spirits I had to bind this morning. And you and I can talk on the side about that. With people not knowing what that spirit is and what it does, it can be overpowering, but just bind up that spirit, sweetheart. Bind it up. You can bind it up in the name of Jesus and it will stop. Put a guard around you and your family. And I know that spirit well. I was told about that spirit when I was 25 years old, and I was one of the first they told about it. And it, ran havoc through me and my family. It's when my daughter got molested. I know exactly who that is and what it does. And that spirit is on the rise right now. It's battling hard. And it's not one spirit. It's a legion. Like, seriously. It's a legion, which means we have to constantly pray, and we have to bring in other prayer warriors to back us when we're under attack from that spirit at times. But my client was battling with some things in her own personal life. And the funny thing was making her want to quit. And yet the very thing she's going through and battling right now in her life is the very thing she's meant to help people with, because they're battling it and they don't have the knowledge, the wisdom, the tools that she has to get through this stuff. Does that mean you're never going to doubt yourself just because you have tools and resources? No, because we have layers and layers of fears and programs residing within our unconscious that the darkness can use, the negative side can actually use, to get to us. And if we start to doubt ourselves, we start to distrust spirit, we start to focus on the dark and not the light, now we've empowered it in our own lives. So we don't want to give that permission. Don't know anything about it, but it is very strong. Like I said, it's a legion. It's a legion. There are many. What's the Bible say? Our fight is not against the flesh and blood, but against the powers and the principalities. And this is a principality. It's hierarchy when it comes to the spirit realm. So, but it's not hard to overtake. Stand in love, stand in faith, stand in trust, and you will overtake that biatch quickly. She knows me well. It knows me well. And I've overcome it many times for myself and many other people. And so can you. Stand in love, stand in peace, stand in forgiveness, stand in faith. That's how you overtake that stuff. Bind it up, anything like that up. If you believe in God and Jesus Christ, bind it in the name of Jesus Christ. The Bible says, whatsoever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. We command it, right? Whatsoever you loose on earth, meaning speak out. Whatever you command, declare, is loosed in heaven. That's why I tell you guys, watch what you say. Watch what you speak about. Watch how you speak about it. Because those words are loosing things in the heavenly realms and in the earthly plane. And same way, you can bind it up, just like you can bind evil spirits super easy. You can also bind your resources, bind your health, bind up the health of your relationship, bind up love because of the words you're speaking. Hi, Deanne. Hi, Terry. So watch what you say. You want to let loose the love, the faith, the power, the empowerment, the peace, little balls of light fluttering across my screen. That's what you want to loose. We are under some level of what feels like spiritual attack. And I have no doubt that is what's going on. The darkness wants to extinguish, put out the light, the love, that peace, that power within you. All you need to do is remember who the hell you are. I am a light of the divine. I'm a divine spark of source energy. I am powerful. What I speak is created. It creates worlds. It destroys worlds. So of course I'm going to speak positively about me, my loved ones, my life, my challenges too. When we go through spiritual attack, it is always a sign something big is about to happen. I told you guys last week with my book stuff, I knew that a lot of the ego attacks were coming from spiritual attack. There are forces out there, because I talked about that little spirit that Holly just mentioned in my book. I didn't name it because there's a reason for it. I didn't name it, but she already let loose of the name. But I spoke about what led to the revelation and what that principality actually controls. I knew releasing this book and telling those stories was going to bring upon me some level of attack, but I also know my armor is freaking strong. I stand in the light and I stand in the truth, right? I speak it, I live it. I have nothing to hide. I'm very transparent so that you guys can't come back later and go, you know, you said this, but you live a different way. I don't tell you guys things that I don't already live. I don't teach you things that I haven't already mastered, period, right? So that can't happen. I don't want to give my ego a doorway to say you're a fake, you're a fraud. Not that people haven't called me that. Because of my gifts, there are some people that want to say you're a fake, you're a fraud, blah, blah, blah. You know, you're a charlatan. I've been called a charlatan. I even know people use that word, but they do. Like, all right, I'm a charlatan, whatever. Someone said that I peddle snake oil, you know. Whatever. If that snake oil is helping people, it is up to them to use the information or not use the information. Obviously, there's some part of it that's helping, or I wouldn't be in business for 20 years. But it's not like my ego doesn't also get me, because sometimes it does. With my book, it certainly did, because there's a monetary aspect to it that I have invested. And I mean, there's like this part of it where my mind starts going, why'd you spend the money? Why this person? Why this? Why that? And a lot of people have been feeling that, but it has been getting like marriage, hitting your relationships. And then it puts you in black and white thinking where it's stay or go. There's no in between. And I'm telling you guys, get out of the 3 times today. I have had to tell people, stop black and white. Stop swinging on both sides of the pendulum. That is not your friend. It isn't stay or go. Take it to the center, right? Change the rules, set some intentional guidelines and foundations and boundaries, and it will all be okay. Don't be scared, Holly. Message me. Honestly, just message me, and you and I will talk about it. I ain't afraid. Seriously. And I'm putting some protection around you and your family right now, but message me after the live stream and we'll chat real quick. All right. We can jump on a call real quick too. I'll just do some prayers with you and we will take care of it. She is my like nemesis, my arch enemy, but I am not afraid of her. Kicked her ass enough times that it's fine. Bring it on, sister. Because I am the demon slayer when it comes to those things, and her in particular. How do you bind your relationship, resources, money, and children? You bind it by speaking negatively. Binding is limiting, right? Binding is stopping. If you think about it, remember the women in the geisha women used to bind their feet. And the Asian women would bind their chest to keep them from growing. We bind it by speaking into our limitations. We bind it by speaking out our fears. We bind it by speaking from a place of fear, period, of lack, period. That's how we bind those things. We don't want to do that. We want to loose unlimited potential. We want to loose unlimited love, unconditional love, blessings, peace, joy, gratitude. That's what we want to speak into our lives and out into the world. And that is what we will live. That's why I teach Charm Life, you guys. That's why I put out Soul Fest, was to teach you guys how to do this for yourselves. And I know it takes work. I didn't have anyone teaching any of that kind of stuff when I learned this stuff. And man, trial and error, you would not believe. Even though I walk with spirit and I can hear the voice of spirit, still trial and error, right? You guys have the actual blueprint the spirit gave me that changed my life and have changed hundreds and thousands of other people's lives throughout the years that I've been doing this work. So come join it. Charm Life, Soul Fast, wherever you want to start, jump in. If you join Charm Life, you get Soul Fast for free. Anyways, that's not why I came on here. I came on here to tell you, don't give up. Don't quit. Don't give the darkness the right to blow out your light and extinguish your light. Don't do it. You may be thinking it, you may be feeling, but I can't take it. I can't take it. Right? You can take it. The very thing that you are going through right now, I want you to stop looking at it like it's something that's horrible, it's overwhelming, and you can't handle it. I want you to think of it as a trampoline. Okay? All this, you guys seeing these things flying across my screen right now, these little orbs, little fluttering spirit. I love it. All of these things that you're battling right now, the fear, the arguments with your spouses, the financial limitations, your worry, your concern, your low energy, I want you to look at all of those obstacles sitting in front of you, flatten them out into a trampoline and see it like this. You're going to hit that trampoline, every one of those obstacles, and you're going to springboard up and over all of the limitation that has been residing in your life. And that is where your breakthrough is. Don't look at it like these things are anchoring me. They're like dead weights around my neck. I just want it over. No. Thank you for being there. I'm going to jump up on top of you, and it's going to springboard me to that next thing, the breakthrough that my life has been waiting for. Thank you, universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you that I get to go through all of this, because I'm going to be stronger, smarter, more self-aware, and more loving than I was before all of these challenges came. Those challenges are your trampoline. You can choose to give up. You can. Nobody can stop you. I can't stop you. Your family can't stop you. But darkness win. Don't do that. Like, honestly, my prayer for all of you, my blessing to all of you, my intention for all of you is that the light grows and the darkness recedes. Okay? Hi, Melanie. You see him, Heather? It's crazy. I love spirit. All of a sudden, I'm like super hot. I've been cold all friggin' day. All of a sudden, I'm sweating as my makeup runs down my face and my hair sticks to the side of my face. So I hope that answers that for some of you guys, because I know it has been very overwhelming. You know, I'm grateful when my clients trust me enough to reach out to me and share their struggles with me so that I can walk them through it. Sometimes it takes having someone who's objective with spiritual vision that can see through your problems and see through the way you're seeing it and see the heart of the matter and why it's happening, what needs to happen for you to use it as that springboard. And then it literally will push you up and over back into the light. And that's my job. My job is to get you guys back into the light. If I have to throw you there, I will. And if you give me the invitation by setting up a session with me and I need to throw you into the light, that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to push and shove you right into the light, right? Come to Corpus. No, thank you though. And if you want to remain in the darkness, there's nothing I can do or anyone else can do. I know it's tough. I want to be real with you guys. I know how hard it is. I know how many people right now have suffered greatly during this time with confusion, anxiety, and depression. I know some of you are so frustrated that things aren't changing at the pace you would like them to change. You want to quit on life and give up or run away from your life, your family, your marriage, your relationships, and even your job. You can choose to do that. I can't stop you, and neither can anyone else. But if you look at it from the standpoint of long term, what's this going to create for me? What am I creating out of it? It doesn't solve a damn thing. Truly, it doesn't. Because here's the thing, like for those of you that have questions about death and suicide and all of that, you kill yourself, you're not going to hell. You're creating your own hell. And you're cutting short your lessons, your opportunity on planet Earth in this life and in this body to learn the lessons your soul wants to learn. Then you will die. You will go to the other side. You will have your life review. You will have not learned your lessons. And then guess what? You get to come back with lessons 10 times harder, because you cheated and you got out the first time. In the Lost Books of Jesus, I don't know if any of you guys have read the Lost Books, but in the Lost Books, it talks about Adam did that many times, especially once he got kicked out of the Garden of Eden. In the Lost Books, it talks about how Adam kept jumping off the cliff and killing himself, and God would just bring him back. He just kept coming back, kept coming back. But he was like, oh, I want back in the Garden of Eden. And it wasn't working. And he had lessons to learn, and he had to keep coming back. Those Lost Books, they fulfill a whole lot of knowledge that a lot of people have not learned about. But they're within the Dead Sea Scrolls. So either look the Dead Sea Scrolls up or the Lost Books if you want to study it. They're fascinating and they're a lot of fun. I mean, Adam was quite the whiner. He really was such a whiner. And he kept jumping off the cliff, throwing his body over the cliff and dying because he didn't want to deal with the lessons, the consequences of his actions, and blah, blah, blah. Kept coming back. And every time it was harder and harder until finally I think he got it. But that is what happens with suicide. You don't go to hell. You create your own hell. Then you got to come back in a body with even bigger lessons and harder lessons. And it's you can do that. You can shortcut it and get out right now, but you're coming back with bullshit bigger than you can even imagine right now. Don't do it. Just ride out the hard times and know that part of this is a spiritual battle. It is up to you. You have the right: command, demand, declare, bind, whatever you want. If you are going through spiritual warfare, you bind those things you do. I bind that spirit of lack and poverty. I bind this spirit of sadness. I bind the depression. I bind the limitations. I bind the anger, the resentment, the blame, the guilt. And I loose the power of the Holy Spirit and everything that is blessed and divine: love, light, peace, joy, abundance, fulfillment, prosperity, all of those things. Speak that into your life and get your mind to shift away from all of the things you think have lacked. All right. That's how we do spiritual warfare. It's not that hard. And then your light expands. Then go find somebody to love on. Go find something loving, even if it's the plant in your home, even if it's the grass on the ground or the air in outside, right? Look up at the sky. Love on the sky. It's giving you oxygen. Focus on some stuff that's way more positive than what you consider to be your problems. And that spiritual warfare is done. And suddenly you're shifted to a far more positive place. But you stand in a place of fear. You are growing the darkness and extinguishing your own light. You are the tool for the darkness. Your ego is. Don't be that. And don't be a tool for darkness for other people where someone pisses you off and you're like, I'm going to teach them a lesson. And you go road rage it and flip them off or tell them, give them a piece of your mind. Now you're a tool to hurt somebody else and you're extinguishing their light. Think about that. Don't do that either. And if you see someone who's gotten bullied and attacked spiritually or physically or emotionally or verbally, be a light to them and help them grow their own light. Not up to you to save them, but you can share some of your light and your encouragement like I do with you guys. It's that simple. So here's a rule that I shared with my last client. I will share with you guys. Do you guys know the rule of 2 warm fuzzies for every cold prickly? Say yes or no in the comments. You guys know what that is? 2 warm fuzzies for every 1 cold prickly. Do you know what that means? Anybody? Bueller? All right. So that rule of 2 warm fuzzies for every 1 cold prickly. You don't know what it means. A cold prickly is when you say something to someone that puts them down, puts them in their place, expresses anger, hurt, any kind of thing like that, right? A cold prickly. Tell your husband they're being an asshole. You're an asshole. That's a cold prickly. You're rude. That's a cold prickly, right? Yes, 2 nice things for every 1 bad thing you say to somebody. So I'm going to expand this rule for you so that you really understand the power of it. But that is a rule I try to live by. and I try and get my family to live by. For every one rude, mean thing, hurtful thing you say, you need to say 2 nice things to make up for it. Because we hold on to the negative and it has more of an anchor, right? It takes 2 positive things to erase it and to remove the weight of it. You have to say 2 nice things, 2 loving things to reverse that one negative thing. Equally with actions, it takes 2 positive, forceful actions to reverse the effects of 1 negative action. Those of you who've been faced with betrayal and cheating know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Now, where we expand this is this. 2 warm fuzzies for everyone cold prickly also includes the things you say to yourself in your mind about yourself. You're not smart enough. Now you need 2 nice things. You're beautiful. You're intelligent, right? Every one negative thing you say about yourself, you need to say 2 things. I cannot believe the power of spirit right now. I don't know if you guys can see, I'm sweating my butt off. Like, this is spirit. This is what happens when spirit comes through. And I am dying right now. Anyways, say it for yourself about yourself, because that is what it takes to get your ego back in check and get you to a place where you literally can start moving back into the positive. So for every negative thing, I hate my thighs. 2 nice things. What are 2 things you love? I love my eyes. I love that I have hearing, right? It has to overtake that negative, because we think about it out there like, okay, for every 1 mean thing I say or think, I have to say or think 2 nice things for other people, about yourself too, about your life too. And it's amazing when you start catching it. You're busy all day long trying to reverse the effects of the negative stuff that you say to yourself. Not good enough, not smart enough, not spiritual enough. Okay, now you need 2, 4, 6 positive things, 2 warm fuzzies. So live that for yourself as well. That's how you guys overtake that. All right. So now that I'm sweating, I'm going to go reset, because I got some more clients I need to talk to today. I do have a couple open slots if you want to slide into my schedule. It's an interesting time. And yes, part of this too, and part of our growth is doing spiritual battle and winning. Winning and coming from that place of peace, love, and joy, mercy, compassion. You know, that's the part where we win. And it may feel like physically you can't take anymore. Emotionally, you just can't take another thing. You can. You will. Call out for help, right? And you'll get it, and call in divine order and divine providence. You're welcome. All right, you guys, have a good day. Patreon Gold members, I'm going to post really quick in our Patreon Gold community. We're going to do our live coaching, monthly coaching. So I need to get with you guys and see what time works for everybody on their different time zones. I would like to do it tonight, but if we have to push it until tomorrow, we can, but it needs to be today, tomorrow. Cause yeah. I don't even know. This is crazy. Today's the 19th. I was supposed to do a live training on Wednesday, and I may end up pushing that till the weekend, because I haven't put anything out to get you guys the information or the links. And I'm running behind schedule this week, and I have a lot of doctor stuff coming up right now. So that live coaching, and I'm going to open it up to all of you, like, well, 100 of you, 99 of you I can have in my classroom. And it's just going to be an hour-long deal where I help you guys and start to teach some stuff that's not on live stream, and we can get some interaction and engagement going, because in my classroom, you guys can come on video and you can come on microphone. We can actually have an exchange. So I'm going to do a 1 hour, but I'm probably going to push it till this coming weekend, maybe Friday night. We'll see. I've got so much, I'm not joking. Like, my schedule is so jam-packed with doctor's appointments and stuff right now. And maybe Friday night. I don't know, but it's not going to be Wednesday. All right. You're interested? Okay. So I will start to create that, not today, because I've got too many clients I'm dealing with today, but I'll try to put it out by tomorrow to where you guys can just link into it. but I'm going to keep a count of how many people. So I'm going to have to do a sign up thing so I know how many people have the link. And please show up. And there's not going to, don't ask me, is there going to be a replay? Nope, there's not. I'm not doing a replay on this. This is going to be a live, just a live deal. And that's it. I'm not recording it and there's no replay. So you want to get something free from me, see how I work, see what it feels like to be an actual session with me. While it's going to be a group, it's more like what we do in Charm Life Coaching. You guys get to be a part of that. And yeah, there's no replay. I'm not going to release a replay. So I love you guys. I hope that this helps. If you need to come back and watch the replay, do so. Feel free to share this with your friends, your family who are going through stuff and they don't even understand the spiritual component to the stuff that they're going through. And hopefully this will hit for them as well. You do have power. We all have power. And I get it. It's scary. It's hard. But, you know, use it as a trampoline and jump. Be like Tigger and bounce. I'll talk to you guys later.